Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, January 14th at 10:58 a.m. Pacific Standard Time by Zeno Reader. There are 750 headlines from 108 things we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Fifth member of Congress contracts COVID in post-riot surge. Lindsey Graham urges Biden to get Democrats to end impeachment. When is Inauguration Day 2021? Dates and times you need to know. Years of white supremacy threats culminated in Capitol riots. National Mall to be completely closed for Joe Biden's inauguration amid security concerns. Melania Trump didn't know whether she'd be attending Biden's inauguration until the president tweeted that he'd skip it. Coronavirus, Africa infections rising sharply in worst affected countries. 50 years on, the Nile Dam that changed the face of Egypt. Americans react to historic second Trump impeachment. Pakistani military says Indian fire kills soldier in Kashmir. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Ex-governor, 8 former Michigan officials charged in Flint water crisis, NBC News. It's official, Google has acquired Fitbit. Update, Department of Justice is still investigating, Android Authority. Why Detroit Lions hiring Brad Holmes reminds of Pittsburgh Steelers hiring Mike Tomlin, Detroit Free Press. Democrats demand probe into nature of Capitol tours on day before assault, ABC News. Governor Lamont announces Connecticut residents over 75 can now register for COVID-19 vaccination appointments as state transitions to Phase 1B, ct.gov. Are the Rockets winners or losers in the James Harden trade? First take, ESPN. Biden to unveil emergency coronavirus plan, with major focus on vaccines, The Washington Post. WandaVision preview, the MCU like you've never seen it before, IGN. New York State sues NYPD over its handling of 2020 racial justice protests, NPR. A Raven Queen vanishes, and Britain checks a prophecy, The New York Times. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Insecure showrunner shares an upbeat note on fate after announcing last season. Jim Carrey's cartoon of alleged Pelosi lectern thief has an odd detail. Justice League star Ray Fisher confirms he has been removed from The Flash. GOP lawmaker buying body armor to protect against Trump supporters. 2020 tied as hottest year on record, NASA confirms. Macaulay Culkin is on board with editing Trump out of Home Alone 2. Biden taps Jamie Harrison to lead Democratic National Committee. Physician who called Trump healthiest president ever dies at 73. Jeff Sessions, Rod Rosenstein blindsided prosecutors with family separation policy. 8 COVID-19 vaccine myths people need to stop believing. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Hospital, nursing home workers delay on vaccine. Boy is recovering from battle with rare disease. Sheriff candidates receive new scrutiny. Vandal apologizes for anti-Trump graffiti. Mom fights stage 4 cancer virtually amid pandemic. Hospital exec runs 46 miles to honor COVID-19 nurses. Facilities caught holding back vaccination supply. Couple says they cannot kick tenants out. Students push to name school after Harriet Tubman. Rapper YFN Lucci turns himself into police. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. The FAA cracks down on unruly airline passengers ahead of inauguration. Fractures in GOP widen after impeachment vote. Join Kara Swisher to discuss her interview with Uber CEO. They used to post selfies, now they're trying to reverse the election. Man who carried Confederate flag into the Capitol has been arrested. Harold N. Bornstein, Trump's former personal physician, dies at 73. Southwest surge helps drive record COVID-19 death toll in U.S. Sharp rise in jobless claims underscores pandemic's economic toll. Queen's murder, man stabbed to death, 3 relatives possibly poisoned. Food delivery is keeping Uber alive, will it kill restaurants? The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Doug Peterson was fired from Eagles for picking Jalen Hurts over Carson Wentz, NFL Hall of Famer says. Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani's romance, everything they've said about their love following marriage proposal. Biden picks South Carolina's Jaime Harrison to steer Democratic Party, sources. Hear it, Amazon's electric delivery van is loud. NYAG Letitia James to sue for federal oversight of NYPD over protest response. Coronavirus survivors' lungs worse than those of a smoker, surgeon says. CNN mocked for reporting Red Blue grabs the crowbar amid Capitol riot. It was actually an energy bar. New Jersey man who witnessed Capitol shooting of Ashley Babbitt arrested. Trump's former Dr. Harold Bornstein, who called him healthiest president ever, dies. Hotel Association offers to help with COVID-19 vaccine distribution in letter to Biden's response team. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, January 14th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. 8 in 10 Americans plan to splurge when things return to normal after COVID. Renowned magician Siegfried Fischbacher dies at age 81. Is your dog happy? AI-powered dog collar translates barks into emotions. I call bullcrap. Colorado Rep. Lauren Boebert says she'll vote against impeaching President Donald Trump. 43rd Annual Kennedy Center Honors Class includes Debbie Allen, Joan Baez, Garth Brooks and more. Watch, trailer for new CBS drama Clarice released. NFL Divisional Playoffs NFC picks, Rams-Packers is really strength versus strength, says Sportsline's Kenny White. SEAL Team's Neil Brown Jr., on what fans can expect from new episodes, we're going to hit them upside the head this season. Surging stock market reflects very bright outlook for economy, finance prof says. CBS television network to air Celebrating America Inauguration Day primetime program hosted by Tom Hanks. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Weather chaos sweeps Britain, torrential rain causes commuter hell. Coming to a supermarket near you, retailers fear Northern Ireland-style food shortages. Sadiq Khan says Londoners have not had enough COVID jabs after Capital gets just a tenth of doses. Up to 30% Londoners may have already caught coronavirus, data shows. Lift lockdown, or face leadership challenge, Boris Johnson told. Melania Trump is not sad to leave White House after packing up. NASA finds there are far fewer galaxies than previously thought. Dr. Harold Bornstein, Trump's former personal physician, dies at 73. Coronavirus Germany, Angela Merkel considers mega lockdown. Zoom glitch makes Tory MP Scott Mann sounds like Dalek in comments. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Deputy Defense Chief to be temporary acting Department of Defense Secretary. Hong Kong authorities arrest 11 over activist attempted Taiwan boat escape. U.S. imposes new sanction on Beijing over South China Sea. In victory for privacy activists, France is banned from using drones to enforce coronavirus rules. How Trump allied foreign activists and dissidents responded to the U.S. Capitol siege. Sudanese protesters rally, demand detention centers closed. Prisons are COVID hotspots, but few countries are prioritizing vaccines for inmates. Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny says, despite facing arrest, he's returning to Russia on Sunday. What the world is saying about the U.S. after the Capitol attack and Trump's impeachment. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Coronavirus will hive news, curfew in Brazil's largest state after surge in fatalities, record deaths in Sweden. Trump impeachment, attention turns to Senate after House votes to impeach, live. The Guardian view on Trump's second impeachment, urgent and necessary editorial. Sorry, try Obama's house, Secret Service barred from using Ivanka Trump's bathrooms. 2020 was hottest year on record by narrow margin, NASA says. China allowed imprisoned Canadians to phone families at Christmas. Last 2 federal executions under Trump can proceed, court rules. How Trump reacted to 2 very different impeachments, video report. German economy shrank by just 5% in 2020 amid COVID-19. Samantha Bee, no one in the Republican Party suddenly grew a conscience. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Leaked transcript shows church effort to block CVA, exclusive. Prosecutors seek restrictions on Rittenhouse after bar stop. DHS official warns taking down social media accounts could hurt intel gathering. Democrats demand probe into nature of Capitol tours on day before assault. Rep. James Clyburn wants to make the Black national anthem a national hymn. Hot again, 2020 sets yet another global temperature record. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Capitol riots, who has the FBI arrested so far? Siegfried Fischbacher, member of magic duo Siegfried and Roy, dies aged 81. U.S. blacklisting of houthis could tip Yemen into huge famine. Electric eel, an Amazon predator that zaps prey. Australia, man held after armed raid in search of cat. The Blue Lotus, rare tintin painting sells for record €3.20 m. Electric eels work together to zap prey. Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, does stylus spell end of the note? COVID contraction shrinks German economy by 5%. Jessica Campbell, tribute to 38-year-old election actress. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Moderna struggles to find 3,000 adolescent volunteers needed for COVID-19 vaccine trial. Ohio State House to close amid protest threat. NYPD sued over response to George Floyd protests. After Kyle Rittenhouse seen at bar flashing white power sign, prosecutors want him to stay away from Proud Boys. Impeachment manager Dean, Trump incited violence. Brexit's impact on touring artists prompts petition. D.C., state scramble to boost security, National Park Service says no final decision on closure of mall. Native American tribes receive COVID-19 vaccines, and health officials work to ease fears about taking it. White supremacist images culminate at Capitol riot. Coronavirus updates, research teams discover new variants of U.S. COVID-19, Pope Francis gets Pfizer vaccine. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. 1 in 3 LA County residents have been infected by coronavirus, new estimate shows. Chaotic COVID-19 vaccine rollout leads to more deaths, experts say. Deaths among Latinos in LA County from COVID-19 rising at astonishing levels. An LA councilman lied to the FBI, probation officials say he deserves no jail time. Column, Schwarzenegger was right, many of his fellow Republicans are spineless. Rep. David Valadao, a Central Valley Republican, says he voted his conscience to impeach Trump. Chapman professor will retire after uproar over speaking at Trump rally. Warm, dry conditions will elevate fire danger in Southland, forecasters say. NTSB to hold February 9th hearing to determine cause of helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant, 8 others. LA wants to impose tougher enforcement for mask violators. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, January 14th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Hong Kong immigration to Britain could mean $36 billion capital outflow. Carrie Sadala, terrorist who murdered 3 members of LGBT community in brutal reading attack gets whole life sentence. Fisheries Minister did not read Brexit bill as she was busy at nativity. Syrian businessman linked to firm that bought Beirut explosives. Switzerland is holding a referendum on whether to strip the government of its power to impose coronavirus lockdowns. Countries adapting too slowly to climate breakdown, UN warns climate change. Philippine President Duterte advised his daughter against running to succeed him in the 2022 election, saying the presidency is not for women. WhatsApp scrambles as users in big Indian market fret over privacy. Prime Minister of Ireland apologized to thousands of victims who faced widespread abuse and death at institutions for unwed mothers and their children. Government commissioned report reveals some 9,000 children died in country's so-called mother and baby homes over several decades. One of the ravens at the Tower of London is feared to have died, in a potentially gloomy omen for Britain. It means that the tower is close to having fewer than 6 ravens, a level that would spell doom for the kingdom, according to legend. Caligula's gardens, long hidden beneath Italian apartment building, to go on view. Calculations show it'll be impossible to control a superintelligent AI. 13 million sign petition urging all nations to ban nuclear weapons. Scottish nationalists set for record majority, boosting independence push. Adelaide scientists turn marine microalgae into superfoods to substitute animal proteins. The next headlines are from Forbes. Lupin is Netflix's most popular French series ever. Review, less is more on Gata Creeper's new album An Unexpected Reality. Man waving Confederate flag during U.S. Capitol riot arrested. How Shell is winning at a Sonic branding game. COVID-19 vaccines, vulnerable to theft, leave healthcare supply chain scrambling for security. New York Attorney General sues NYPD over excessive, brutal force against peaceful protesters. The far right is flocking to these alternate social media apps, not all of them are thrilled. Montreal's Major League Soccer rebrand aimed to build a movement. Poshmark more than doubles in IPO, pushing valuation above $7 billion. Lowe's total home strategy turns house into home and is key for market share growth. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Accurate machine learning in material science facilitated by using diverse data sources. Daily briefing, COVID reinfections appear to be rare. COVID reinfections are unusual, but could still help the virus to spread. The power of a budget plan and grant writing. Anti-aging effects of protein restriction unpacked. COVID research updates. A potential COVID vaccine causes a durable immune response. Water stress will rise in parts of Asia even as glaciers melt and rain pours. Electric eels have a shocking tactic, hunting in packs. Dire wolves were the last of an ancient New World canid lineage. Traitorous COVID antibodies and fast-spreading variant. The world population update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,679,314,450 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Greg Thompson leads from Maverick to Big Loud Management as president partner. Blight Spirit Review, flat, dated resurrection of null coward farce proves some things are better left dead. How TV broadcasting veteran Rick Blangiardi wound up as Honolulu's new mayor. Midnight Sky director star George Clooney says Alexander Desplat's score is a character in the film. Kino Lorber acquires Raymond's prize-winning Macedonian film Willow exclusive. Berlinale prize-winning Bad Tales acquired by Strand releasing for North America exclusive. Vanessa Kirby on that heartbreaking Pieces of a Woman scene, and her slumber party with Ellen Burstyn. The haunting images from the attack on the Capitol will never fade away. How a handheld camera helped funny boy DP Douglas Koch capture the space and light of Sri Lanka turmoil. No Man's Land, Fauda producer tackles Palestine-Israeli conflict in the new project exclusive. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. The cat who came back, Patches, believed killed in mudslide, shows up 3 years later. In Philadelphia, judges rule against opening a medical site to safely inject heroin. Former U.S. Olympic swimmer Clete Keller charged over Capitol attack. Flint pediatrician says charges against ex-governor help wounds finally close. New York State sues NYPD over its handling of 2020 racial justice protests. Lady Gaga, J-Lo 2 headline Biden inauguration. COVID-19 origin study, WHO team arrives in Wuhan to investigate. Coronavirus is surging, how severe is your state's outbreak? Coronavirus world map, tracking the spread of the outbreak. State Republican parties bless members of GOP who voted to impeach Trump. The following headlines are from The Week. Chris Evans might be coming out of Captain America retirement. 2020 ties for warmest year on record, continuing 7-year hot streak. Jeff Bridges says tumor has drastically shrunk after lymphoma diagnosis. Entire National Mall will reportedly close for Inauguration Day. Siegfried Fish butcher of Siegfried and Roy dies at 81. Getting coronavirus may prevent against reinfection for months, preliminary study finds. New jobless claims climb to 965,000, the most since August. Lindsey Graham is reportedly back in Trump's good graces after breaking things off last week. Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez set to perform at Biden's inauguration. Johnson & Johnson trials show single-shot COVID-19 vaccine effective. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Chicano Squad provides new perspectives on police brutality and unsolved murders. Texas legislative session begins with heavy security presence following U.S. Capitol riot. The following headlines are from the NASA Mars Exploration Program. NASA insights Mole ends its journey on Mars. Mars 2020 Perseverance rover to capture sounds from the red planet. The next headlines are from Universe Today. The Roman Space Telescope's version of the Hubble Deep Field will cover a 100x larger area of the sky. With funding from Jeff Bezos, MethaneSat picks Elon Musk's SpaceX for 2022 launch. Gateway Foundation gives a detailed update on its Voyager station concept. Since there's no up or down in space, how do our brains deal with this? Will Solar Cycle 25 dazzle or fizzle in 2021? Astronomers can use pulsars to measure tiny changes of acceleration within the Milky Way, scanning internally for dark matter and dark energy. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, January 14th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Young Moon and Mercury in mid-January 2021. Megalodon sharks' enormous babies ate their siblings in the womb. The myths behind the southern and northern lights. Planetary trio, photos of Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn. A new record for the most distant quasar. Newly found comet Leonard might become 2021's brightest. SpaceX Cargo Dragon succeeds in first Atlantic splashdown. Capella is sometimes called the goat star. How to find the winter hexagon or winter circle. Tonight is New Year's Eve in the Julian calendar. The next news is from Politico. Biden's first 100 days. Cuomo lets indoor dining resume in most of the state. Biden taps Trump appointing Norquist to be his temporary defense secretary. Harrison selected as Biden's DNC chair. New York Attorney General suing NYPD over protest response. Harold Bornstein, Trump's eccentric ex-doctor, dies. U.S. unemployment claims jump to 965,000 as virus takes toll. Lady Gaga, Jennifer Lopez to perform at Biden's inauguration. The gutted, unnerving state of the agency supposed to keep the U.S. safe. Donald Trump is the perfect leader of the worst generation. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Makeup is no match for good skin, 3 experts on building better habits. Beijing rebuffed pleas from Chinese steelmakers to lift ban on Australian coal. Senior IOOF executive accused of inappropriate touching in unfair dismissal claim. NSW venues warned to comply with COVID-safe rules or risk being shut down. 2 ex-health officials charged with manslaughter over Flint water crisis. Record daily German COVID-19 death toll sparks Merkel mega lockdown plan. And during second impeachment, Trump stands largely silent and alone. Siegfried Fischlicher, of magician duo Siegfried and Roy, dies at 81. Andy Murray tests positive for COVID-19, in doubt for Australian Open. The latest illustrations from artist Andrew Dyson. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Outside the box, shareholder voting is another electoral process that needs more access and transparency. Keywords, commodity bull market, this ship has sailed, says Goldman's Curry. Coronavirus update, U.S. case tally climbs to 23 million, or a quarter of the global tally, amid surge in new infections. Market Extra, here's where the market sees the U.S. 10-year Treasury yield headed next. The Fed's Powell downplays risk of persistently higher inflation. The Moneyest, why do I need to wear a mask if I've had COVID-19, who is it protecting, can I really be reinfected? The #1 job in America pays $100,000 a year, and it's not in Silicon Valley. The Moneyest, I'm genetically predisposed to early onset Alzheimer's, what do I leave my girlfriend and daughter from a previous marriage? Why Secretary Yellen may push to lift the Wells Fargo ban put in place by Chair Yellen. Need to know, Goldman Sachs says the S&P 500 will rise 14% in 2021, here's the roadmap. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Demand for patents up, number of patent lawyers down, why? A legal examiner. Patenting AI and protecting intellectual property, IPRO portal. Test Right expands in-house prototype services for new inventors and inventions, PR.com. Carbia significantly strengthened its international patent portfolio, StreetInsider.com. Riley Eller joined Riley Eller as Chief Technology Officer CTO, HospitalityNet. Intellectual property joint ownership, land of unintended consequences, AZ Big Media. IP claims reports, patent activity increases despite pandemic, IBM again dominates granted U.S. patents, Samsung leads global 250, IQWatchdog.com. Alex Therapeutics announces license for the treatment of cognitive deficits in neurodegenerative disorders from Bristol Myers Squibb and Yale, PR Web. Hartley Hoskins Falmouth obituaries, CapeNews.net. Drawing software patent drafting guidance in 2021 from an unlikely source, the Federal Circuit, IQWatchdog.com. The next headlines are from Quartz. How to fix the orphan drug problem driving up medical costs. Every U.S. county's COVID-19 infection rate. Inside the U.S. government's effort to start measuring the space economy. 5 economic effects from the Democratic sweep in Washington. The company that's LMAO on its way to the stock exchange. Post-Brexit Britain has its sights on Asia, if it can get over Europe first. Why SPACs are booming in New York but not in London. Most Indians won't fully quit WhatsApp despite the privacy concerns. These are the key African elections to watch in 2021. Global fast food chains are the flavor of the season in the Indian stock market. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Sheryl Sandberg makes disingenuous push to argue that only Facebook has the power to stop bad people online. Daily Deal, create your own website with WordPress bundle. Jack Dorsey explains the difficult decision to ban Donald Trump, reiterates support for turning Twitter into a decentralized protocol. House lawmakers question telecom giants over broadband price gouging during a pandemic. Nintendo appears to be using a fan-made drawing of Mario without artist's permission or credit. Content moderation case study, Yelp attempts to tackle racism on its platform, 2020. Cops love body camera footage, when it clears officers of any wrongdoing. Parler's laughably bad antitrust lawsuit against Amazon. More bad ideas. Congressional rep suggests participants in the attack on the Capitol building be added to the no-fly list. Daily Deal, the personal and business finance super bundle. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Urban Meyer, Alan Rickman, Mac McClung, Simple, Jack Dorsey, Dire Wolf, Siegfried and Roy, Armie Hammer, Cassie Compton, Michael B. Jordan. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Home Alone 2 feat star Macaulay Culkin joins call to remove Trump cameo from 1992 film. 12 hours COVID curfews announced for all of France for at least 15 days, PM says pressure on hospitals is high. Twitter restores account of Sputnik V, Russia's coronavirus vaccine after restricting it without explanation. Massively undervalued, businessman who smashed record to pay whopping $5.20 for sports card claims it was a tremendous deal. Belarusian authorities seek to give journalists 3-year jail term for alleged role in protests against embattled leader Lukashenko. Russian boxing star Sergey Kovalev's return fight in Doubt as ex-champ requests check on positive test for synthetic testosterone. Far Eastern Russian island Sakhalin to introduce mask exemption for those inoculated against COVID-19, regional head reveals. We are not at war, Roe rages over controversial plan to replace Russian national anthem with folk-based military song Katyusha. UK bans all arrivals from Portugal and South America after discovery of Brazil COVID-19 variant. Paris police investigating alleged black supremacist bomb-maker who blew up flat, injuring himself and one other. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Big technicians purge is only beginning, for them. Biden taps key architect of Obama's war in Libya to head USAID. What they said about lockdowns before 2020. Chip stocks soar to record after Taiwan Semi unveils $28 billion spending blitz. Georgia rep pledges to file articles of impeachment against Joe Biden. 2 New Yorkers infected with UK mutant strain, France imposes nationwide curfew, Hive updates. Watch Hive, will Fed Chair Powell tamp down taper tantrum tensions? Here's what Joe Biden may announce tonight, according to Goldman. Rabobank, why is George Orwell's 1984 the #2 best-selling book on Amazon? Dem congressman catches COVID after receiving second dose of vaccine. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. 2 former health officials charged with manslaughter in Flint. UN, world facing catastrophic temperature rise this century. Delta remains cautious after massive $12.4 billion loss in 2020. Andrew Yang kicks off NYC mayoral run with basic income promise. Timeline, how the Arab Spring unfolded. What is the effect of Donald Trump's second impeachment? Lady Gaga to sing anthem, J-Lo to perform at Biden inauguration. Venezuela malls letting private firms operate state oil fields. Tunisia, remembering the Arab Spring. U.S. jobless claims soar to 965,000 as COVID surge triggers layoffs. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Apple launches racial equity and justice projects to challenge systemic racism. Huawei employees who marry Europeans face being fired for betrayal. Taliban chief orders officials to cut back to one wife to save money. 1 year ago, WHO shared Chinese COVID propaganda, no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission. Google experiment hid some news sources from consumers. Why Joe Biden is preparing $1,400 stimulus checks despite promising $2,000. Arizona GOP to vote on resolutions to censure Cindy McCain, Jeff Flake, and Governor Ducey. Delta puts passengers who heckled Republican senators on no-fly list. Snapchat permanently bans President Donald Trump. Gretchen Whitmer extends Michigan restaurant lockdown as 3-week pause reaches 12 and counting. The next headlines are from UPI News. Look, venomous eastern brown snake found in family pool. Man who forgot Bitcoin password accepts fate. Escaped cow allowed to live on animal farm. Man wins his second $50,000 lottery prize in just over a year. Look, police wrangle loose ostrich on Missouri road. Watch, Taiwan man blows 783 bubbles inside of larger bubble for world record. Look, Florida animal rescuers free bobcat stuck in birdhouse. Cat reunited with Ontario family after 10 years. Watch, large Burmese python removed from family's driveway. Watch, athlete does 64 hand release push-ups in 1 minute for new record. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Watch Dwayne Johnson give $30K truck to the guy who took him in when The Rock was a homeless teenager. 50 countries just joined new coalition to protect 30% of the planet's land and oceans by decade's end. These women have been pen pals for 70 years, forging a true friendship from 10,000 miles away. Saudi Arabia is building a zero-carbon city with no cars or pollution, a new era of civilization. Today marks 3,000 days on Mars for the Genius Curiosity rover. See celebration photos from the Red Planet. See Paris's long-overdue upgrade to iconic Champs-Élysées Boulevard with an extraordinary garden. See the moment a bubble froze into a beautiful sphere at sunrise, creating a natural snow globe. Lone Capitol Police officer lured rioters away from Senate chambers, hero likely saved lives. Young man overcomes illness by learning skills from a near-dead art, watchmaking. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, January 14th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Police mistaken for strippers as they raid Argentine swingers party. Is his purpose to intimidate or show off? Palmetto Bay resident drives military-style tank through residential streets. Man injected magic mushrooms into his veins, and they started to grow in his blood. Wife walks husband on a leash after curfew because walking dogs are allowed. Citing censorship concerns, North Idaho internet provider blocks Facebook, Twitter. Magic mushrooms grow in man's blood after injection with shroom tea. A pigeon survived an 8,000-mile journey from Oregon to Australia. Authorities plan to kill it. Indonesia, archaeologists find world's oldest animal cave painting. Staten Island Republican who shouted Heil Hitler at protest apologizes by saying she actually meant to say Mein Führer. Pro-democracy Hong Kongers changed their icons to Trump's face after his Twitter banned star Elizabeth Johnston. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. This cute AI pet will fill the deep, dark void in your life. What this simple TikTok prank taught me about work. Tesla cannot be forced to recall 158,000 cars in the US, yet. Looking to break into cybersecurity? Here's the white hat hacking training you've been looking for. Chatbot shut down after saying it really hates lesbians and using racist slurs. How to develop a web app with SEO in less than 10 minutes. 5 ways to accomplish nothing and still feel exhausted. Google removes shady loan apps from its India Play Store, but the damage is done. Android Auto is reading notifications in the wrong language, and Google's solution is terrible. This app is helping reunite dogs with their owners using AI. The following headlines are from Science Daily. 600-year-old marine sponge holds centuries-old climate records. Spectacular fossil discovery, 150-million-year-old shark was one of the largest of its time. A highly sensitive technique for measuring the state of a cytoskeleton. Giant map of the sky set stage for ambitious DESI survey. Penned release of green geckos has potential to help preserve threatened native species. A rift in the retina may help repair the optic nerve. Doubling the number of known gravitational lenses. Climate change is hurting children's diets, global study finds. Acting quickly after heart attack symptoms start can be a heart saver. Solar City concept, building the next urban power and mobility systems. The next headlines are from Information Week. IBM speaks on growing hybrid cloud, AI, and quantum computing. Why DevOps will have to change this year. Remote reshapes the future of work. Entering a new chapter for tackling AI at the edge. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, January 14th from over 100 sources to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. 2020 tied for warmest year on record, NASA analysis shows. NASA TV to air hot fire test of rocket core stage for Artemis moon missions. NASA, Government of Japan formalized Gateway Partnership for Artemis program. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Watch now, Governor Spencer Cox says he will keep age requirement at 70 for COVID-19 vaccine. Utah reports another 11 COVID-19 deaths, but the rate of positive tests falls. WAC adds Southern Utah and 4 other schools will revive football at the FCS level in 2022. Can vaccinated people still spread COVID-19? Here's what we know. Salt Lake County didn't cancel vaccine appointments, that was a mistake. Tribal elders are dying of COVID-19, causing a cultural crisis for American Indians. Gordon Monson, barring hotel guests, playing Yellowstone Christian, wearing masks all part of sports ongoing battle with COVID-19. Environmentalists move toward lawsuit over fuel break plan. Joseph Smith Memorial Building now has a mini temple of sorts so top LDS leaders can meet while iconic temple is closed. Delta Airlines bans passengers who taunted Mitt Romney on flight. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Blue Origin successfully launches and lands key crew capsule test in first mission of 2021. Samsung inadvertently used iPhone to tweet Galaxy S21 and S21 Plus promo. Windows 10X for single screens leaks. Amazon's Ring Neighbors app exposed users' precise locations and home addresses. Google reveals sophisticated Windows and Android hacking operation. The Galaxy S21 and S21 Plus are Samsung's new, more affordable flagships. Poland plans to make censoring of social media accounts illegal. Apple removes feature that allowed its apps to bypass macOS firewalls and VPNs. US asks Tesla to recall 158,000 vehicles for touchscreen failures. Qualcomm to acquire Nuvia, a CPU magnitude shift. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Molina is leaving retirement up to God. Expecting trouble, DC locks down a week before inauguration. Man shot and killed at St. Louis BP gas station. Detectives respond to suicide call, find body and person with gun. Powerball jackpot hit $640 million, Mega Millions grows to $750 million. New prepared meals available with restaurant selections by Snooks. Photos, St. Louis motorcycle cop visits St. Luke's months after beating COVID. SWE researchers discover new COVID-19 variant. Video, car on fire on 64 eastbound in Lake St. Louis Thursday morning. St. Louis County Police Department Diversity and Inclusion Unit leader hopes to step down. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Biden plan with $2,000 stimulus checks expected to include expanded child tax credit. Costco closing photo centers at all stores. Illusionist Siegfried Fish butcher of Siegfried and Roy dies. Powerball ticket worth $2.70 sold in San Diego. One killed in rollover crash. Got COVID-19 vaccine questions? Nonprofit offers answers with new website, hotline. Petco announces initial public stock offering at $18 a share. Ex-San Diego firefighter gets prison time for unlawful sex with teen. New Zealand man who died following New Year's Eve fight ID'd. Dozens join search effort for missing South Bay mom. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. The state of online harassment. 20-year-old lawmaker who admitted to revenge porn says he is leaving Kansas Democratic Party. Raytheon opens applications for SpaceX scholarships. Aubrey Plaza, Carrie Elwes, Bugsy Malone board Guy Ritchie spy thriller. In Kabul, Ajit Doval calls for reining in terror groups for lasting peace. India News, Times of India. Says 2021, Microsoft's Brad Smith slams SolarWinds indiscriminate assault. German regional spy chief fired over Christmas attack probe. Bugsy Malone joins Guy Ritchie's new spy thriller as filming begins tomorrow. Israel struck Syria after U.S. bombed. Mossad's Cohen discussed airstrike, U.S. official. 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLC class spy shots, popular crossover coming in for redesign. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. French Army to receive 300 micro-drones from Parrot. Pentagon awards contract to General Electric for CH-53K's engines. Kratos gets $12.70 M contract for attritable unmanned combat air vehicle engine. Russia to begin testing its new mobile 152mm howitzer. U.S. Marine Corps to extend the service life of AVAP Harrier to 2029. Northrop Grumman innovates new functionality to protect F-35. U.S. Air Force awards contract to Boeing for 12 KC-46A tanker aircraft. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Pompeo's 11th hour announcement and the future of U.S.-Taiwan engagement. Life amid lockdown 2.0 in Xinjiang. What if China's COVID-19 vaccines are the least effective? Restaurant chain Zibaki promises no price hike after former executive insults low-income customers. The black roots of Chinese pop music. Bombard the headquarters. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, January 14th, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Taco Bell bringing potatoes back to its menu. 6-foot fence going up around California Capitol in anticipation of upcoming demonstrations. California officer loses job over racist post on Parler. So close, Bay Area winner gets second biggest Powerball prize. Rob Black's winners and losers, the CA lottery nears record-breaking heights. Sutter Health now offering COVID-19 vaccine appointments for 75-plus patients. How to sign up for the COVID vaccine in Contra Costa County. Flint water crisis, 2 ex-health officials charged with manslaughter. Trump impeachment trial could begin on Inauguration Day. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Packers host Rams with NFC Championship game berth at stake. U.S. long-term mortgage rates rise, 30-year at 2.79%. Jacob Blake says he was ready to surrender before being shot. NFL amends draft eligibility due to pandemic impact. We believe in our food. Pandemic cannot stop restaurant from opening in Wheeling. I've been aware of Barrington for years, says District 220 Superintendent Vic. Illinois records 88 more COVID-19 deaths, another 6,652 new cases. No one took us seriously. Black cops warned about racist Capitol Police officers for years. Domestic terrorism, a more urgent threat, but weaker laws. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Charges: Seattle Seahawks security manager possessed, dealt child pornography. 9 of Washington's 10 House members vote to impeach Trump for incitement of insurrection. Durkin proposes legislation to update Seattle's energy code and ban gas heat in new buildings. 300,000 without power in Puget Sound region after overnight storm topples trees, power lines. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Albania, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Greece, Iran, Lebanon, the Republic of North Macedonia, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal, Pakistan. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Peru. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Spain, Morocco. Drought is ongoing in Mexico, United States. Drought is ongoing in Georgia, Kazakhstan, Russia, Ukraine. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Peru, Paraguay, Uruguay. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in Argentina. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, January 14th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. No layups, why is Houston sports such a hot mess? Capitol riot, man seen carrying Confederate flag through halls of Congress is arrested, source tells ABC News. Cold front sweeps through Texas Thursday. Retired firefighter accused of throwing fire extinguisher at Capitol Police officers arrested. Betty White says she's celebrating 99th birthday in quarantine. Legendary magician Siegfried Fish Butcher, of Siegfried and Roy, dies of pancreatic cancer at 81. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin launches new Shepard rocket mission. Republican Georgia Congresswoman to work to impeach President-elect Joe Biden. Houston police officer resigns after Capitol storm revelation. Biden's $2 trillion COVID relief package to include $2,000 stimulus checks, aides tell congressional allies. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. High-scoring Caitlin Clark fitting right in with Iowa women. UK fishers cry foul as Brexit red tape leaves catch rotting. Unions, passenger rails need better security, no ride list. Toyota fined for failing to report, fix emissions defects. Biden taps Jaime Harrison to serve as Democratic chairman. Jill Biden to name director for Military Families Program. Connecticut probing Amazon's ebook deals with publishers. MLK FBI probes when bureau bugged Martin Luther King Jr. Steelers part ways with Randy Fichtner, to assistants. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. A burden has lifted as Javits vaccination site opens, for those who can score appointments. NY Attorney General sues NYPD, de Blasio over use of excessive force during protests. With DACA restored, thousands of immigrants wait for applications to be processed. Trump administration is allegedly shielding Border Patrol agents involved in racist Facebook posts. Coronavirus updates, Rep. Esperia tests positive for COVID-19. Early edition, Macaulay Culkin joins movement to remove Donald Trump from Home Alone 2. NYC gets 24-hour vaccines before 24-hour subway service. Get ahead with a graduate degree. Andrew Yang enters mayor's race with scaled-back plan for universal basic income. Aspiring Proud Boy plotted armed attack on target rich NYC, feds say. The next headlines are from Observer.com. Kelly Clarkson is determined to sell her Tennessee lake house. Contemporary artist Lorna Simpson has created Rihanna's latest magazine cover. A major Tesla investor unveils a new space fund as the industry skyrockets. WandaVision works because it feels like a true Marvel experiment. The myths about time, what is the museum industry's role in sustainability? Netflix's true crime Night Stalker is your divisive new obsession. Liam Payne finally sells Calabasas compound for $10.16 million. BioNTech founders address burning COVID-19 vaccine questions. How Wonder Woman 1984's costume designer gave Diana a sleeker 80s look. New York will take steps to revive arts and culture before the summer, Cuomo says. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. Next, info on a few earthquakes today from earthquaketoday.com. Strong earthquake, M6.2 quake has struck near Mamuju in Indonesia. Light earthquake, 4.4 mag strikes near Elo in Wallace and Futsuna. Light earthquake, M4.7 quake has struck near Harura in Japan. Light earthquake, 4.7 mag has occurred near Isane in Chile. Light earthquake 4.6 mag, south of the Fiji Islands. Light earthquake, 4.6 mag has occurred near Piti Village in Guam. Light earthquake, 4.3 mag has occurred near Sarangani in Philippines. Light earthquake, 4.1 mag strikes near Oyama in Japan. Light earthquake 4.4 mag, Fiji region. Minor earthquake 3.4 mag, 99 kilometers N of Charlotte Amalia, U.S. Virgin Islands. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Q&A, China accused of intimidating, detaining citizens critical of COVID-19 linked abuses. America's descent into depths of disastrous Trumpism. Renewable energy transition key to addressing climate change challenge. Can the world tackle the food insecurity crisis in 2021? Africa's free trade area opens for business. Flipping Arizona, Hispanic movements flex political muscles. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. YouTube suspends Trump. This is what happens when you take experimental COVID-19 vaccine. Canadian health expert, costs of lockdowns are at least 10 times higher than the benefits. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. NY Attorney General sues NYPD over Floyd protest response. Unclear who presides at Trump trial if he's out of office. Capitol siege raises questions over extent of white supremacist infiltration of U.S. police. Did Pelosi wear same dress for both of Trump's impeachments? Lawmaker wants Dolly Parton statue at Tennessee Capitol. Expecting trouble, D.C. locks down a week before inauguration. Report, illusionist Siegfried Fischlicher dies in Las Vegas. U.S. unemployment claims jump to 965,000 as virus takes toll. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Timeline of National Guard deployment to Capitol. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Mischief-making, Politico boss defends handing playbook over to right-wing bombthrower Ben Shapiro. The ugly backstory of Ben Shapiro's first movie Roundtide fight. Cindy McCain celebrates Arizona GOP's proposed censure of her, I'm going to make t-shirts. Retired firefighter arrested for allegedly hurling fire extinguisher at cops during Capitol riots. The incredible shrinking liquor bottle. Can China prevent the next animal-to-human pandemic? Julia Sullivan, a James Beard-nominated chef, believes this pan will replace every other in your kitchen. Trump mob merchandise doesn't end with Camp Auschwitz. Lockdown proves not even a Hollywood heist can make the pandemic fun. These traitorous traitors must be expelled from the House. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Jennifer Lopez debuts custom crystal-embellished face mask. National Guard says donations not needed, the troops were just napping. Brussels BLM protesters pelt Belgian king's car with rocks. WFAN's Evan Roberts has a meltdown after Nets James Harden trade. Post Malone donates $10K of his sold-out Crocs to frontline workers. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. How black holes morphed from theory to reality. The beginning to the end of the universe. The first stars are born. Neil Armstrong's blueprint and other lunar artifacts are now protected by U.S. law. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. 2020 is effectively tied for warmest year on record. NASA rover celebrates 3,000 days on Mars with epic panorama. Trump administration slashes habitat for imperiled spotted owls. Ohio researchers discover new strain of COVID-19. Astronomers observe death of a distant galaxy for the first time. U.S. passes 4,300 daily coronavirus deaths. States race to ramp up COVID vaccine rollout amid record deaths. COVID-19 vaccinations across U.S. near 1 million doses a day. What COVID-19 cases after Capitol lockdown say about the first dose of the coronavirus vaccine? Astronomers discover oldest, most distant supermassive black hole. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. CIA's declassified UFO documents are now available online for download. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Pro-Trump rioter who carried Confederate flag through U.S. Capitol arrested, report. 79-year-old man faces 36 counts of animal sex abuse and possession of child porn. Canadian Olympic gold medalist Kathleen Heddle dead at 55. Law professor who rallied Capitol crowd with Giuliani and questioned Kamala Harris citizenship will retire. NYC controller Stringer in quarantine after Rep. Espargaro tests positive for COVID after Capitol siege. Pigeon deemed biosecurity risk to be killed after traveling 8K miles from Oregon to Australia. Philadelphia Museum aims to set record for biggest drawing ahead of Crayola exhibit. Ex-Border Patrol agent sprayed urine on supervisor's cubicle just before retirement, feds. Biden commits to releasing $2 billion in additional COVID relief for NY after Schumer push. Tim Bogert, NY bassist who played with classic rock groups Vanilla Fudge and Cactus, dies at 76. The following headlines are from military.com. World War II chaplain who comforted sailors in shark-infested waters awarded posthumous Navy Cross. Air Force planning hangar construction for future B-21 stealth bombers. Army to review more than 3,500 back paper discharges for post-9/11 vets. Trump releases video message calling for calm in wake of impeachment vote. In Department of Defense reversal, agency will analyze remains thought to be World War II's first Medal of Honor recipient. State media, Iran fires cruise missiles during naval drill. Retired SEAL reportedly questioned by FBI after admitting to riot participation in video. Former Air Force chief joins one of the world's largest equity firms. 57 killed in deadliest Israeli strikes on Syria in years. National Guard to concerned citizens, no donations, please, the troops are okay. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Column, impeachment was the only way to prove that an insurrection and civil unrest are not the same. Man charged with December fatal shooting in Logan Square. Bill to give Chicago an elected school board fails again as backers cast blame on Mayor Lightfoot. Why are Chicago politicians so afraid of democracy? Cook County Public Defender Amy Campanelli's message to President-elect Joe Biden, defund ICE, halt deportations for a year. Aurora man accused of battering 2-month-old girl. Michael Madigan's decades-long grip on Illinois ends as House Democrats make Rep. Emanuel Chris Welch state's first black speaker. Right side of history, 14 Illinois members of Congress vote to impeach Trump a second time. Time runs out for ban on locked seclusion and face-down restraints in Illinois schools, advocates vow to try again. Some at-risk older citizens in Chicago could start getting vaccines next week, city's public health commissioner says. Paul Burek, Orland Park priest charged in fatal hit-and-run, dies. The following headlines are from phys.org. Forests may flip from CO2 sink to source by 2050. Asteroids versus microbes. Science finds simple way to make land leaner. Linking piped water, health and gender equality. Modern tomatoes cannot get same soil microbe boost as ancient ancestors. Future options for storing carbon dioxide, synthesis of inorganic heteroalkenes. Ancient temperature and sea level changes provide new insights into potential impact of climate change today. Lab on a chip test has potential to detect COVID-19 immune response faster than current antibody testing. The richer you are, the more likely you'll social distance, study finds. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, January 14th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The Nile was a lifeline in the desert for ancient Nubia and Egypt. How medieval Europe finally ditched Roman numerals. Welcome to Hale Alley, a U.S. region prone to pelting ice. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Spal upsets Sassuolo to set up quarterfinal against Juventus. UFC won't punish fighters for marijuana use in policy change. France to expel delivery man refusing kosher orders. Heartbeat abortion ban may finally pass in South Carolina. Lawsuit, community college program was human trafficking. Ronaldo Rueda leaves Chile to become Colombia coach. AP source, Lions agreed to deal with Brad Holmes as GM. Texas megachurch pastor sent to prison for fraud scheme. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. 2020 sets another global temperature record. COVID, Lebanon imposes all-day curfew to walt spread. An American pigeon named Joe made his way to Australia, and now the government wants him dead. Prop 19 will expand tax savings for senior and disabled homeowners. Alleged rape victim says her reputation is caught up in race for Orange County supervisor. Gilroy, second man dies from New Year's weekend shootings. Yang kicks off candidacy for New York City mayor. Photos, Nextdoor founder sells San Francisco mansion for $5 million under asking price. Pebble Beach for pros only this year because of COVID spike. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. State approves solar farm, lodge at Saddleback Ski Resort. Police investigate fatal truck crash in Down East, Maine. French man wanted in homicide arrested in Colombia. Joe Biden taps Jaime Harrison to serve as Democratic chairman. Vaccine appointments now being taken for 75 years and older. Groups sue federal EPA to rescind Florida Wetlands Authority. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Maryland Democrats rethink planned domestic terror bill after criticism. Arizona GOP chair urged violence at the Capitol. The Mercer spent $1.5 million supporting her. Doctor who joined Capitol attacks leads a far-right campaign against COVID-19 vaccine. Dustin Hicks, the last man to be executed in Terre Haute, maintains his innocence. Schumer's insurrectionist no-fly list is a civil liberties nightmare. How a flurry of suspicious phone calls sets investigators on Rick Snyder's trail. Defense Department anticipated election-related unrest before Capitol riot. Behind big technicians' crackdown on the riot is a fight over Biden antitrust policy. Here are the donors to Tea Party group that helped organize pre-riot rally. Thousands of U.S. public housing residents live in the country's most polluted places. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, January 14th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. New combination drug therapy offers hope against methamphetamine addiction. Bees respond to wildfire aftermath by producing more female offspring. Study the boundary between bulk, nano and molecule scale of gold plasmonic physics. New suspicious lesions on breast MRI and neoadjuvant therapy. Sexual harassment claims by less feminine women perceived as less credible. Low-cost chlorine dispensing device improves tap water safety in lower source regions. Neither meniscal nor mechanical symptoms predict findings on knee arthroscopy. Comparing reactions of flu vaccines in older adults. Reverse engineering 3D chromosome models for individual cells. Lack of managers keeps India's businesses small. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Trump backers seek online refuges after big tech backlash. To understand the call to violence in Trump's words, consider the last 4 years. Defiant fall president won't resign for defending mob that stormed Capitol. 8 people forced into quarantine after COVID-19 cluster develops at CPS school in first week back. Live updates. High Court rules for City of Chicago in vehicle impound case. Government watchdog, Department of Justice failed zero tolerance management. Goodbye to a world-class crybaby. The following headlines are from Riverfront Times St. Louis. You can now sign up to receive COVID-19 vaccine notifications in St. Louis City. Actress Leslie Jones says Cori Bush is the keep it real queen. Here's how Missouri's reps voted on Trump impeachment. Cori Bush, impeach white supremacist and Chief Trump. Hartman, McCloskey's still chasing the bright white spotlight. Editorial, Josh Hawley and the show Me Seditionists failed us. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. Republican U.S. Rep. Peter Meyer, who voted to impeach Trump, says he has bought body armor amid threats. Washtenaw County will no longer pursue criminal charges for consensual sex work. Suspicious phone calls linked former Governor Snyder to Flint case, according to report. Rashida Tlaib was right, we impeach the mother of order, again. Whitmer says restaurants could be allowed to reopen for indoor dining in February if COVID-19 cases stabilize. Apple to open its first U.S.-based developer academy in Detroit later this year. Michigan Dems call on 3 Republicans to resign for trying to overturn election. Home heating help available in Michigan. Dilla's Delights Donut shop permanently closed in Detroit, but owners are looking for a new home. The COVID-19 vaccines are finally here, but many in Michigan are skeptical. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, January 14th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Upcoming Houston food events, a 1-year ring-iversary and a chance to help pack the pantry. Horror stars brave COVID for Houston pop-up event. Castle Christmas, best pre-COVID show. Deshaun Watson has a right to be angry with the Texans. U.S. House impeaches Trump for inciting D.C. mob riots. That was fast, hard and dealt in blockbuster for Oladipo, Hall of Picks. Acevedo says Houston police officer part of the D.C. mob that stormed the Capitol. Rockets must proceed with caution on any hardened trade. Houston Health Department has a plan for second COVID-19 vaccine doses. Former Texans head coach Bill O'Brien named defensive coordinator at Alabama. The next headlines are about world records making news. You won't believe the record for the greatest temperature swing in a 24-hour period. WKMG News 6 and Click Orlando. NBN claims world record for long-range 5G wave transmission, RCR wireless news. Russian woman who swam under Siberia's ice may have broken the world record, CNN International. Shearer toughs it out to set world record, Otago Daily Times. DJ SBU's insane new world record, a 9-day radio music show, The South African. Australia lock in New Zealand tour with eye on new world record SBN.com, ESPN. Energy Materials Corporation sets world record for high-speed, roll-to-roll printing of conductors on flexible glass for perovskite solar panels, PR Newswire. Meet the youngest male to travel to every country in the world, Euronews. Mario Kart world record smashed on Rainbow Road with insane shortcut, Dixerto. Atlantic rowing race winner set world record, South China Morning Post. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. New research offers rare hope for treating methamphetamine use disorder. I adore the coffee cup-sized latte projector. This new Philips Hue gadget makes your existing dumb wall switches smart. Google's hitting pause on political ads, at least for now. Oculus will soon support multi-user accounts, but sharing a VR headset sounds disgusting. It's done, the Google Fitbit deal is complete. Peloton finally launched its long-awaited workout playlist feature. All the best new TVs announced, it says 2021. Report, Chris Evans Captain America to return in future Marvel project. The best Amazon deals of the day. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Roebourne Arrow in Australia at 116.78 degrees Fahrenheit or 47.1 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Verkhovensky in Russia at minus 69.16 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 56.2 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Today's best tech deals, iPad Air, indoor security cameras, and more. 2020 ties 2016 as the warmest year on record. China tosses more obstacles at WHO team investigating pandemic's origin. Facebook knew about violent extremists before insurrection, reports find, updated. PC sales finally saw big growth in 2020 after years of steady decline. Nintendo uses copyright claims to take down game and watch hacking videos. Despite COVID-19 lockdowns, American roads are getting much deadlier. Parler CEO admits site may never recover from Amazon ban. The Galaxy S21 is official, gets an across-the-board $200 price drop. Tesla's touchscreen trouble, NHTSA asks for recall of Models S and X. The following headlines are from Raw Story. New York Attorney General sues NYPD over brutal protest crackdown. D.C. Attorney General seeks to interview Trump Jr. in inauguration money funneling lawsuit. New York town official resigns after being identified in photos of MAGA riot at Capitol. After Joe Biden vowed $2,000 checks will go out the door ahead of Georgia wins, relief plan reportedly includes just $1,400. Georgia Republican lawmakers punished for pushing pro-Trump conspiracies. Police and military confront the enemy with an after-Capitol riot exposes extremists in their ranks. Dostoevsky warned of the strain of nihilism that infects Donald Trump and his movement. Secret Service spent $3,000 a month on rental toilet after Jared and Ivanka wouldn't let them use their bathroom. The View's Meghan McCain still coming to grips with the GOP going off the rails. Trump supporter who brought Confederate flag into Capitol arrested in Delaware. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. This story about Ivanka, Obama, and poop is far worse than you could imagine. Trump approval after insurrection declined modestly among Republicans. Study says police use force far more against left-wing protests. Raw data, the auto industry doubled in value last year. Coronavirus growth in Western countries, January 12th update. The most important lesson from the Bible of impeachment remains unheeded. Texas pandemic abortion ban didn't stop women from ending their pregnancies, it just forced them to cross states' lines. Long before the Capitol riot, anti-abortion extremists showed us the dangers of inflammatory propaganda. Trump's second impeachment shows how the GOP remains stuck in Trumpism. Telegram finally takes down neo-Nazi channels. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Remember the dream, Isthmus. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Evolvable neural units that can mimic the brain's synaptic plasticity, Tech Explorer. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, January 14th, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Alien radio signal from Proxima Centauri. See the CIA's recent dump of UFO-related declassified documents. Radar UFOs UAP. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, January 14th, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. True Strange News Fair Use Statement. No Views News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2020 by No Views News. All rights reserved.